Hello, Akko here again. This is a little short video showing how to put together a Redpower2 6-directional frame motor. This is not my design, this is a design from someone on the Feed the Beast forums, goes by the name of Rain Warrior. It's a very nice compact 4x4x4 design, and these are all the bits that go into it. I'm just going to get rid of that bit of gunpowder just so I don't confuse myself. So I want to make it here, and if you want to see the original thread, just go on the Feed the Beast forum, on the search there, type in Rain Warrior and it should take you to the thread, or type in 6-axis directional frame device. So I'll just use that froob. So these things here, redstone tube frames, we need 15 of them in total, 15. They're known as froobs apparently. So I've got 15 of them made. So first of all, we make a structure with these. I'm going to use my jetpack to make that a bit easier. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then one down like so. So we want 12 there straight away, making this like twisted S pattern. And then we want some normal frames there, there, and there, and then there, and there. So that's the start of our structure. So you're kind of making a snake that doesn't join up. There's a gap there and a gap there, like a figure of 8 kind of around the corner. Next we need some blue wool panels. Now we're going to put 6 of these down for now. We've got a couple more to put down, but what I'm doing is, on the forum post there's a link to some images of this getting put together, so I'm putting it together exactly as images. I put it together once already, and I took it apart again so I could do it on camera, just in case any of my viewers want to see it, or if anyone in the thread wants to see it. And now we need, so I put 6 covers down there, sorry, 6 panels, and now we need some covers. So covers, just so you know, covers are slidey. Motors will slide across a cover, but they will not slide across a panel, they'll stick to a panel. And then there, and then there, so that's where our covers go. Next we want 3 more of the froobs, and one of them goes there, and we want one there and one there, and we want a normal support frame just there, and onto that we need 5 more panels. We want a panel there and one on the back. I'll just turn my jetpack off, a bit easier. And we want one on the front side of that, and again one on the back where the gap is there, and we want one on the top of that guy like so, and we want our last slidey cover just there. Next, our last 4 frames go 1, 2, 3, 4, and they want our last 4 panels, 2 on the bottom and 2 on the top. So that's all the frames and the panels. That's all the essential frames. Well, that's all the frames in fact, but that's all the essential panels and covers that need to be put there, not just for decoration. They're all the essential stuff. So next we're going to move on to the actual frame motors. Now frame motors, I'm going to have to refer to the pictures a little bit to make sure I get them all in the right direction, because it's a little bit complicated to get them all facing the right way. Now your frame motors, when you place them, so I'm going to put the first 2 here. Now if you look at a frame motor, let me just see the easiest way of doing this. Let's do it like that and then get rid of them 2. So your frame motor is one side, which for this demonstration I'm going to put to the bottom. So one side has, in fact the way I see that as the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the arrow to the top like so. So if you think of the arrow as a top, then the sides have got a power marker or a vent at the bottom. That's how I see it. So you've got one side that's blank, that's the bottom. You've got your arrow on the top, and then on your sides you've either got a power marker or a vent at the bottom. Yeah, I hope that's easy enough to follow. So you turn these round by shift right clicking with your sonic screwdriver or your normal screwdriver. I recommend getting a sonic one, you can recharge it. So our first two motors here, that's the right orientation. They want to be so that the arrow is under there where we can't see it, and we want the arrow to be facing that way, which is the larger gap, so that's facing the correct way. So that's them two correct. Easy done. Yep, just double checking that's correct. So our next one we want in there, and the one in here is we want the arrow to be facing away from us. So I'm going to shift right click. So that should be correct. Yep. And we want the arrow to be facing away from us in that way. So if we're looking at that from this side, arrow pointing that way. And yeah, I'm working off a picture of the completed 12 motors all in a square area, so it's a little bit tricky. Now next we want our arrow facing this way towards us, like so, and that wants to be facing downwards. That one's correct, and the one next to it wants to be exactly the same, so let's do the same again. Like so, and down, that's correct. And next one is our arrows facing downwards, so that's correct, arrows there, and we want it pointing to the west, so we just need to turn that around twice so that the big bit's pointing to the west. So that's that side all done. That's 6 of our motors placed. Now the next one, if I come round, it's the easiest place to see in this. Yep, we want our arrow facing away from us, so shift right click that. So that's correct, and quite hard to see this one, but what we want is right, how do I see this? Can I see the bottom of that there? I want the larger side of the thing to be facing. Just going to dig a little hole there. I can see that a bit better. Right, I want the larger side facing to the west, and that's facing to the east. So I need to turn that around twice. 1, 2. That should be correct now. Yep. Larger gap to the west. That's that one done. Now 5 more. So 2 going this side, and we want the first one, the arrow to be facing me from here. No we don't. No we don't. Yep, want the arrow to be facing me like that, and then pointing that way. That's correct. And then the one below that, we want the arrow facing this way, and we want it pointing upwards, like so. I believe that's correct. And now just 3 more. I'll put all 3 of these in and then sort out the direction. We want these 2 with the arrow to the top. Oops, didn't mean to do that. So arrow to the top, like so, and like so, and they want to be facing to the south for me, so like that. And then this one, we want the arrow facing this panel, yeah, this cover. So we want that facing south, so we want that to be that way, and we want that pointing upwards. So there we go, that's all the motors in place, that's all 12 motors. Now it's just a case of adding the control on. So we want our 6 wireless receivers, and these go, let me put a jetpack on. Our first one goes there, our second one goes there, facing that motor. Our third one goes there, facing that motor. Our fourth one goes there, that one's to be facing upwards to the motor. And then 5 and 6 there facing that motor, and 6 will be, is that correct? I think that's correct. 6 would be there facing that way. I'm just going to double check that on the picture. I think that's correct. Let me have a quick double check because I don't want to send you wrong. That one facing up, yet that one facing that way, that's correct. And then from the top, 1, 2, 3, yep. And the last one there, yep. So that's all good. So that's where the receivers want to go. And now we need to wire these two up. So this one here on the top feeds into a NOT gate. So a NOT gate goes there. And now we want a red eye wire to connect it to this jacketed wire, which will connect to the tubes there. So that's our tubes all powered. And then this one at the bottom, same principle, fastens there, and then that goes onto there and fastens it to the tubes that are in that little bit. So there we go. And then last thing, put a battery box on there, and the battery box goes there, and that is our finished setup. So now all we need to do is work out which directions are which. So for that I've got a wireless remote there. Now I've got this set up downstairs. So I'm going to show you really quickly what I've got downstairs. That's drilling all the power out of that. I should have I got any more of them? Let me have a look. Yeah, they've got better charge. Let me take them out just so we've got a bit more charge in this guy. Like so. Okay, just while it's night time as well, I want to go inside and sleep. Just so no creepers spawn and ruin our day. Now what I've got downstairs is a little bit of a messy logic setup. That when you flick the wireless remote, if I've got it set to channels 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 or 12, the flicker toggle switch, which cuts this NOT gate, spins that time at 0.4 of a second and sends pulses to 1 through 6, which are my channels I'll be putting onto the receivers up here. So all we need to do is work out, and I can't quite remember which ones are which. So I'm going to do that by just setting these one at a time. I'll start with 1. I think 1 is actually that one, but I'm going to check all these first. So I put my wireless to 1. That's north. So I'm just going to click on there. Clicking on there with the remote changes that to 1. Pressing that. So now we know that's south. So we can go in there, change that to south. Go back to our remote. Click on that one. Trigger it. That one's up. So we can now change that to 5, which is direction up. So it's an easy way of just setting all your frequencies. Click and then trigger it, see which way it goes. So that one there's west. Set that to west. The opposite one up here I believe is east, but we'll keep doing it this way. So set that to 1. Trigger it, and that should send us east, but it hasn't, so I've done something wrong. What have I done wrong? Let me see. That's definitely not working, so I've done something wrong. I believe that one is east though. Let's just disable that one for a second. Check this one. So that one is north. So that one is actually channel 1. So that one's correct. So we need to find what we found so far. North, south. That was up, so this will be down. So let's take that to down. Like so. Let's see if that one works. Set this to down as well. There we go. So all of them apart from this one are working. So I must have got one of the engines, one of the motors facing the wrong way, or one of the covers in the wrong place. So I'm going to cut the camera, find out what I've done wrong. Back in a sec. And I'm back, and sorry about that. The this one under there was pointing in that direction, and it should have been pointing in that direction. So now I've not tested it, but that one, if we set that back to east on there, channel 4, and get our remote, set that to channel 4, that should send it east. There we go. So there's the east one. So yeah, just a little mistake there. If you trace that back in the video, I should maybe go back and change that. Should I start the video again? I'll leave it as it is. If there's any confusion with that, just remember you need to change that one. And to change that one, all I did was I brought that one, and the side was facing correct, but it was 1, 2 out. So it was that way where you want to click that 1, 2, and that'll put it right. And then it's just a case of putting this one back like so, and we want that so that's facing the bottom, and then just turn that so that the big section is facing south. So there we go, that's all correct and in order. And now, because of the little setup I've got downstairs with the timers and such like, I can set this to 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 or 12, and what that'll do is one click of the button, it'll start the motor running, and it'll just keep going until you click the button again. Clicking the button will stop it. Once it's finished its cycle, we can change that to down. One button again, bring it down. I'm not touching my mouse or anything, and then pressing the button turns it off again. And I've gone too close, so it's going to stick to the grass. Excellent way of finishing the video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that was useful, and cheers. Bye.